can stop you from being deceived. If you try to find out what's up my sleeve, you can figure out what a bag of means. If you try, nothing can stop you from being deceived. Nothing can stop you from being deceived. Nothing can stop you from being deceived. Nothing can stop you from nothing can stop you from being deceived. Nothing can stop you from being deceived. Nothing can stop you from being deceived. Nothing can stop you from nothing can stop you from being deceived. Nothing can stop you from being deceived.
Forth between
we trying to make sure
I Cut My Way Out podcast page.
Let me tell you how bad Instagram just did us tonight, my boy. Oh my God.
Wow.
But it's like, listen, this was the perfect episode for something that big to happen, because this is what you preach every single day on every video, bro.
Right.
Things are not always gonna go your way. So you gotta figure out how to accept what you can't control, pivot, and people calling me like, bro, what happened to the live, bro? What happened?
Right. Super crazy.
Yeah.
Right.
You hear me?
Yeah, I'm just, hey, I'm hoping that the live stay
up. The whole time it was going through that whole thing, I didn't got some content to post. I didn't put together a whole public apology to you, to the people that was supposed to be jumping on. You gonna see all that tomorrow. Don't even worry about it.
Man.
Yeah, I was about to say, you didn't even have to do all of that. I was talking to bro the whole time. Like, I mean, if it didn't work tonight, we were just gonna set it up for another time. Because, like I said, I'm a man of my word, and I definitely want to get on the podcast. So,
definitely. So,
I mean, as long as the audio working, we can rock out.
Unorthodox fashion. We want to welcome everybody to the I Cut My Way Out X Poppy Bean podcast right now. You know, he was gracious enough to let us join on his page, seeing that we had some, technical difficulties on our end that we couldn't really mitigate or get away from. So first and foremost, thank you so much for that. And if you can, these are most of your followers, but the way we introduce it is you let the people know who you are, what you got working on, so we can roll into this thing. We can go in there swinging.
All right, cool. Everybody in here following me, so everybody know I go by Beam. So tonight I'm on the I Cut My Way Out podcast. Hopefully I can give y'all some new gems and some new things that I got going on, that I got cooking up for the future. So I'm just joining both of the hosts and the co-hosts right now. And, hopefully we can put together something good for y'all.
For me, man, and so the interesting thing on here, we're all from Illinois, right? Which love. So we all repping the Illinois. So for me, I've been following you for a number of years. You've been applying pressure. I remember when you was in school and you were cutting. So just kind of tell us exactly where you're from and how you got into the whole barbering thing.
Okay, so we bounced around a lot. Chicago, back and forth from Chicago to Indiana a lot, like when I was younger, coming up or whatever. And I grew up in both cities. Most of the people, like a lot of people I cut was in the Harvey area. So I was like in more the suburban area, things of that nature. That's where my last shop was at when I was in that area. Went to college, got my engineering degree. I was cutting through college just so, that was my way that I ate, I made some money, was able to take care of myself, things of that nature. And, I just picked up a camera one day, an iPhone 5S. I grabbed it with my refund check, recorded something. And I used this app called iMovie. I think the app is called iMovie. But yeah, I used iMovie, chopped up a real clip. It was like a quick lineup video. It's still on my page now. It's my first video. I got that out there, and from that point on, we started to create the person I am today. So I knew nothing about content creation. I just started recording. That was it.
Cut in high school, prior?
Oh no, I started cutting way before that. I was like 9 years old. I picked up my first pair of clippers. Yeah, so my pops was a barber, but not like a in the shop barber. He was like neighborhood barber, like cut everybody hair on the porch. And I used to just sit there doing homework, and I used to just watch him like cut everybody hair. So you know, watching him cut everybody, I got like real interested with like the lineup. Like that part stood out to me the most was the lineup. You know, I was just always like, that's the best part of the haircut. It's like you watch somebody give a fade, cut the hair down. It's like, okay, cool. When you start to put line work on it, that's where I got like really like interested. Like that's crazy how he looked like this, and now you turn him to look like this. So yeah, I've been cutting since I was 9, and I'm 28 now. So you know, it's been some years. I turned 29 this year, so it's gonna be a while since I've been like, since I've been
29
working,
years
since
old?
I've been, you know, doing my thing. So definitely since I've been
Really?
9.
Oh wow, bro. So that
I'm 28.
You
I'm 29 this year.
out, man, because you gotta.
Yeah.
When I listen to you talk, not just from your well, mainly from your videos, but also the couple times that I got to meet you in person, your maturity level, your mentality is far, far, far ahead of 20s, bro.
Right.
Late mid or old 20s. I thought you was somewhere in there like 35, 36.
Yeah.
Living some life.
Oh no, that's tough. That's tough. Nah, definitely. I'm not. Nah, I ain't got that many years on me. I could just say I was around a lot of older people though. Aunties, my uncles. Like I kicked it around a lot of older people. You could definitely see it.
It's in your movement. It's in your mannerisms, and especially in your conversation. Your conversation doesn't speak like somebody in their especially somebody in their young 20s from the Midwest. It's a whole nother vibe when you're talking to somebody in their 20s and they from the Midwest.
Oh,
But I was dying to know, bro, because a lot of people, I'm sure a lot of your followers, and I know myself and Ash, when I was introduced to the whole premise of you, the brand that you were building when you started to put down your foundational work, it was Get Beam. Right. It was the Beam team. It was, I was locked in, like you say every video, get locked in. I'm interested in knowing when the name change came, and is there a story behind that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I was in college. I was in college. I was cutting somebody hair, and at the end of the haircut, I just gave him the mirror. When I gave him the mirror, he just checked himself out. He was like, "Damn, bro, like you beamed me." And when he said that, I'm like, "That's it, that's it." Because like my thing was always the lineup. I'm always like super sharp in that area, and I'm like, okay, that sound good. I like how Beam sounds. So I just roll with that right from there. It's literally one haircut.
Yeah, it's a Poppy Beam.
You said what made me change it? Oh, from Get Beam to that? Yeah, okay, so it was a point in time, I was like switching my accounts, and I forgot the password to a second account because I was gonna make 2 accounts, a business one and a regular one, but then Facebook and Instagram merged, and you can create business accounts. So I lost the password to the other account that had Get Beam because I was gonna move all of the business stuff to that one. And I couldn't get the name back because it was on another profile. And I'm like, okay, cool. So I just, you know, roll with something else. Plus, you know, I'm mixed with a couple things. My pops is Haitian and Dominican, so you know, I got a little bit of that Rico Suave in me as well.
I was always interested in that, man, because when I seen Poppy, I was trying to find you on IG. Like, man, I can't find Beam. I keep finding people with Get Beam and they tags, but this ain't, I know this ain't Beam. Right. And then somebody told me, look up Poppy Beam. I'm like, Poppy Beam? Why would he change his name, bro? He done built this whole brand on that. So that makes a lot of sense. But that, again, that speaks to the whole, what you can't control, you can't allow to control your output. You just pivot, adjust, and move forward, man. So big shout out to that, man. I would also love to know, man, you are an extremely talented individual, man. You got a lot of things going on that's working for you. Audio off of anyone else. That's crazy. That's crazy, bro.
Let's make sure that the audio's not completely gone.
Thumbs up. If you can hear, thumbs up.
Please, like, let us know
before we get into the IG on one tonight.
Yeah.
It's not muted, like a lag.
Just like a lag.
Bro, I have no idea what's going on. And it's crazy. I heard you saying earlier, we done shot so many of these in these same spots. Right. Never had a problem like this.
None.
Okay, cool. I bet.
I think, okay, so everybody said audio back good.
Extremely talented individual. You one of them people that come with multiple facets of your talents. You cut hair, You a content creator. We all know that takes a talent to be able to do that on a consistent basis. The music thing, I don't know how long you've been doing the music, but from what I hear, you've been putting some effort into that for a while now. Maybe you just now kind of unveiling it to the world. Is that kind of the case with that?
No. So like for me, it's you know, everybody got like dreams, aspirations, things of that nature. Like, you know, when I was in Chicago, it was to basically build my brand and build myself to the biggest demand that I could be. I'm talking about fully booked out. I'm talking about max amount of revenue you could charge per haircut. And in terms of content creation, I was trying to leverage that to basically get out in the world and get a chance to collaborate with other influencers, but also put my work in front of the world. So for me personally, like to answer your question, like barbering itself did its thing. Then it was like, okay, I got to build a brand for myself as well. And I started to do that. Then I started to lock in with Tune 45. The music itself came around just because of YouTube. Like I had people in the comment section that was like, just based on the way you talking and breaking stuff down, and then the type of beat selection that I use on my instrumentals, it almost sounded like rapping to them anyway. So people in the comment section was just telling me like, I think you should try to rap. I think you should try to rap. So when I moved here in Florida, I got kind of bored because I wasn't cutting right away when I first moved out here. I was off, like I took my first year off. But throughout that first year, you know, I was setting up, trying to make my house a home, getting accustomed with the land, getting accustomed with the weather, things of that nature. And I just went through my computer and I was downloading a bunch of different instrumentals that my producer sent me. And then I just decided one day, let me try to write something. And I tried to write something. And from that point on, I just started writing. So it's been like a year and 5 months. So I don't have no content out, but I've been like really honing my skill, because to do something so great, which is barbering, and people to see me for that one thing, I know if I want to do something else, I got to be that much good, because people already take me serious in one lane. It's so many content creators who create music, and you just think like, okay, it's more of like parody music, or it's just more of just trying music. Like, no, I'm really good. Like when it comes to writing, when it comes to melodies, when it comes to cadences, flows, like I have it down pack in terms of the type of person that I want to be and the type of artist that I want to be perceived as. So just being around like Basios and them, like Basio used to cut more than everybody. Now it's strictly finances and business branding and turning barbers to 6-figure barbers. He don't even cut no more. You get what I mean? And for me, it's not that I don't love cutting, but I don't love it as much as I used to. I love educating more. I love innovating new products more. You get what I mean? Like cutting for me, I started to realize the older that I got, it was really my vehicle and is my vehicle to get me to, you know, point B, point C, wherever I'm going or whatever. I didn't want to be put in a box based on just me being able to cut hair. And we see a bunch of successful people, Basio, Vic Blends, like it's a lot of people out here, Pacino's, like he started off barbering and selling content through apps, and now he's in Target. You get what I mean? It's bigger than a haircut behind a chair. It's bigger than servicing somebody, but also you got to know how to leverage who you are. So in terms of merging all three of my worlds, it was just more of, if I'm going to do it, then I'm going to do it with both of my feet in the game. I have to be just as good in music as I am in barbering, just for people to separate the two individuals, because those are two different personas. Those are two different perspectives. Like you get professional, you get real educated, you get real nerdy and science version of me when I'm breaking down a haircut, because that's how I know how to do it. I want to teach people a way that I never learned before. And with my music, I want to give people something that when they hear me is just like, who is this? And that's really my thing. To separate those two is, I believe, is going to be my biggest challenge, because I did so well in barbering or whatever. But I won't merge the three. I just want all three to be their own entity and shine on their own.
I think you did.
That's how I look at it.
You said it perfectly. One, you know, barbers, you can't put them in a box. I think everybody has multiple gifts, and you just yourself to be able to gain that following and shine in other areas, because now you got eyes on you. And so I'm not going to say it's easy, but it's easier to get those ears to listen because you have a following.
Right.
But I have a question. Just watching you in college, I didn't know that you finished up, because I know you were barbering hard. What did your parents think when you were getting a degree in engineering, but it seems that barbering became the first priority? Because I'm a father, you know, and I know, you know, we want to push to college, and especially during those times, college was everything. And then you jumping into a trade, even though your pops cut hair. What was that feeling about you giving that push to barber?
For me personally, my mom never gave me a hard time. My dad never gave me a hard time, because, you know, it was something that I seen him doing, and he was making a living just cutting the neighborhood or whatever. In terms of engineering, for me, I believe it was like the last big gift I could give my mom, being the first person to graduate from my family. So I wanted to finish that. I was on a full ride scholarship anyway. Like, I was a nerd. So my mom told me, like, you could do whatever you want to do as long as you finish it. And for me, it wasn't even about her telling me to finish it. I wanted to give her the last big thing I could give her, which was be the first person to graduate. In terms of barbering, when I was creating content in college, I know as an electronics engineer, they was going to offer me right out of college, just 4 years, about 54,000. And like, not to really like disclose too much, but at that time in 2017, before I graduated out of college, I was making roughly 70 to 80,000 through just YouTube alone. So I was already making what they would have gave me first year, plus an additional 30,000, and then on top of that, however much money I was making cutting hair at school already. I was already making close to 100K before I even left. So when I showed my mom and my dad the numbers,
one thing I just want to piggyback onto that,
this is exactly where you're gonna go.
Not to cut you off.
No, you good. Go ahead.
Did you ever think that barbering could take you to the heights that it's taking you, and be able to combine your passion with engineering along with barbering and create what's been created from that?
I'll be honest with you, I don't believe so. Because when I got my engineering degree, it was more of like, I'm the person, when I was a kid, I used to build Lego sets and, you know, just break things down, open my PlayStations and stuff like that when it was broke. And I never fixed everything. I broke majority of the stuff that I did open up, but that was something that I was good at already. And then when I got in high school, I took a engineering course that if I finished it in 2 years, then I'll start college with at least 4 credits. So I told myself, like, let's just do the engineering thing. I started doing AutoCAD and design, and I'm like, okay, this is crazy. In terms of barbering, I always mix the two, because it's 2 things with engineering that basically breaks engineering down. It's the usage of mathematics and science at the same time. So I already knew the way I looked at lineups was geometry. I'm talking about 10th grade math, like geometry. But even in terms of matching sides, we talking common denominators. That's 3rd and 4th grade math. I was already using those analogies because that's how my mind worked with doing haircuts, doing lineups and things of that nature, was geometry, 10th grade math and 4th grade math. So for me, just when I look at it, I didn't believe barbering was going to take me to the heights, because Basio, like working with Tune 45, they helped me learn how to disrupt myself. And by disrupt myself, like, you get to a point to where you kind of know your capabilities of what you can do in this craft, but if you had capital, could you change the industry? And that's kind of where me, Basio, Danny, you know, my manager Dre, this is where a bunch of us met and like really honed in. We went to the Bonnabros show in Atlanta, and it was like after the show, everybody went to a bar. I just met up with them. Like, I wasn't even tapped in with Basio and them yet. They just told me, come to the show, come kick it. And I was just talking to him, and he was talking about the color enhancement and things of that nature. And he was telling me one time, like, what if you could make something for color enhancement? And I never thought about it that way. So it was just like working with them and seeing what they were already doing. They were disrupting themselves, meaning they were challenging themselves in ways that you can't challenge yourself behind the chair. Like, if it's a haircut you can't do, it's challenging until you understand and learn the system to get through the haircut. But in terms of engineering, I knew nothing about patents. I knew nothing about, like, you know, dealing with other engineers where it's like, you know, I won't be one person making a product. You can have one person here and a million other people making different pieces to products, like working with other engineers, learning their metric systems for their countries, like not understanding and knowing how far this thing could go. So I definitely didn't believe Barbering could even take me to the heights that I'm at now.
Hey, this is why we do these podcasts, because once you get people talking, shout out to the Pissed Off Barber. Once you get the people talking and you kind of open up and be transparent about some things that otherwise, I've never heard that story from you. I don't know if you've ever published that information. So that allows me personally to connect with you more, because I have a chemical engineering background. Before I started barbering, I have no college degree in chemical engineering. I got lucky and got a job, and I'm eager to learn. I'm the type of person, I'm going to put myself in whatever positions I can put myself in to learn, show my value, and allow my value to speak for me. My value speaks louder than any degree could ever speak for me in my actions. But that's how I approach barbering. Just learning chemical engineering, I couldn't understand what they were writing. It didn't make sense. I didn't go to school to study stoichology, and I didn't go to school to study diameters and space and how to measure space to fill it and move solutions and chemical, none of that. But what I could do is I could draw. So if you can explain something to me, I can draw it and make it make sense to my mind. Right. If I can make it make sense to my mind, I can take that and then relay it into real life. And I started to move up in that company. Right. So that when you was telling that story, I'm all the way connected to that, because I know the feeling of being a person in a room who don't think like nobody else in the room, but you don't want to be the outsider. You want to be as much a part of the room as everybody else, but it's how do I get my way of processing information to make sense to everybody else. Right. And you to capture that and do that. I think YouTube provided you a blank canvas and a platform to be you and create a lane where your understanding of barbering, your understanding of life was translated over what you were doing, and it connected with so many other people. But it does bring up an interesting question that I would love to hear your take on that. You said that you use barbering as a vehicle, which I think if we watch a lot of the big name barbers, like you mentioned, Vic Glenn's, Bashio, Pacino's, all those guys use barbering as a vehicle to move them forward into whatever it was that they were trying to capture as far as their business ideas for the future, right? And we're watching you do it now. Actually, me personally, I think you're already on the other side. You may not feel that way because you're an ambitious young man and you moving forward into it. But from what I've seen to where you are, I think you've used that vehicle tremendously. And it's a great thing to see. But I am curious, be it that barbering is being used as a vehicle to move to that next level of what it is that you want to do with your future, have you begun to prepare yourself for when it becomes a Bashio situation and barbering is no longer the vehicle?
For me, I don't believe you prepare yourself for that. Because I just believe that you prepare yourself for the transition. I believe the transition is the biggest challenge between the two. Like, let's just say hypothetically, let's just say I drop a tape this year, and let's just say one song has a video to it and that video goes crazy and it opens the door for me to touch the music industry. Depending on the situation and how it looks would mean like I would either take an opportunity or I wouldn't. But with that being said, I honestly believe, same thing with barbering. Like, when I picked up recording, I didn't record to become an influencer. You know, I believe if that door opened, then I'm going to maximize my opportunity. That I'm like that with every situation, even if it's a haircut. If I see a dude walking down the street, like I got a homeless man video I'm going to do in a couple weeks. I seen a dude, he was just lingering by the shop. I took him in, washed his hair, cut his hair for free, because I'm going to maximize the opportunity of being able to display a crazy transformation on front of YouTube, because that's just what I do. So I just believe you have to maximize all of your opportunities. I don't even think about, oh, if this song blow, like what am I going to do? None of that. If it go, then we're going. Like, it's that simple to me. So it's like you maximize your opportunity and you show everybody that's doing exactly what you're doing that you were forced to be reckoned with. And that's it for me. It's originality, maximizing the opportunity, being different, and making people respect exactly what you do.
So as far as the Tune 45 team, that came together, and I assume the team created each other, you know, areas that Basio may be strong in next weekend, vice versa, right? So as a team, kind of what are the positions? Like what is it that you do for the team? Like your placement?
So my placement in Tune 45, I'm one of the lead educators. So like me, Sean, we are lead educators. So we do majority of the classes on the road, things of that nature. When it comes to products and things of that nature, if it's not Dre, who basically handles majority of the load for us to get things done with manufacturers and things of that nature, or Basio and Danny, you know, that's something that I have a hand in as well in terms of new products and things of that nature. But I'm an owner of Tune 45. Like, I have stake in this company, and that's not what, like, I don't want people to hear like I got stake in this company in terms of like I just think Tune 45, mine. No, I'm collectively in this with at least 6 to 7 people who all have one common thing, and that's moving the industry forward and changing the industry forever. So that means we all disrupt each other. That means we own each other head every rip. Our lifestyle is different. I believe I became smarter. I believe I became more like ambitious in barbering because of the heads that I'm with. So in terms of Tune 45, I just look at myself as a lead educator. Everything else in the background, like when you think about innovator, you can say innovator because I have my own products through them and things of that nature. But realistically, I'm just top educator because that's our biggest mission, is to educate. It's always investing in your craft, investing in who you are. So when you look at Beam, just look at a lead educator. Everything else is just
hey, shout out
everything else is
360
just
shout out that mixtape Beam X Tank coming. That's what they say. Look, I'm missing my ability to tag these comments, man. There's some stuff coming through there. So
yeah. So I want to give a big shout out to Jeezy. A lot of people don't understand and know, like, before I was with Tune 45, Jeezy was somebody who did a lot of he did a lot of things with Tune 45 in terms of like collaborations. Even when it came, like, Tune Squad was a thing that Jeezy and the rest of Tune 45 made up. Like, Tune 45 was established before I came along. So Jeezy was one of the first people to open that branch. Like, he did his challenge, the Wifey Cut Challenge. That put me in a mix of all of the collaborators. Like, I was just posting, cutting hair, and then one day I was watching a Jeezy video, which was the Wifey Cut Challenge, and he called me out. And what I told y'all I'm gonna do every time, maximize opportunity. I maximize opportunity. Now I sit at the table with the big dogs.
Right. That's
so
why I thought Big Poppy,
I definitely want to tip my hat off to him because he opened the door for me.
I graduated to the Big Fish. Like, I'm here. You know what I'm saying? That's where I thought the Big Poppy came.
Hey, I want to get something else too, man, that I don't think enough people are giving you your flowers for. I don't think enough people was giving Jeezy his flowers for it either, but I think a lot of people weren't aware that it was happening. They saw it, but not too many people really understood what they were watching. Jeezy, I'm hearing more and I'm seeing more and more stories of him not allowing the enormity of what he's built and his brand to stop him from reaching back and pulling other guys forward until that fold. I watched you do it in person at CT Barber Expo. I was playing the background with the camera. I wasn't, you know what I'm saying, out front doing a whole bunch of talking. I was just playing the background trying to get, I was more taking in the whole show. That was my first time going to CT, right? Also, I knew my agenda for the podcast, man. Me and Osh been working extremely hard to keep this thing moving forward. And like you just said, maximizing every opportunity that we have. Right. So I figured my role for that show was going to be, I need to stay back with the camera, capture footage, introduce as many people as I can to the concept of what we're doing, and be patient, because sometimes it's as much about knowing your patience and your role in the moment that you're in as it is your opportunities when they present themselves. Right. But what I'm getting to is, I want to give you and Jeezy, both y'all, flowers. Wavy Kid Kev is another one. I've watched Coldest and I watched Tank do this too. Cut Flow Dre. It's a lot of guys in this industry that get to the levels that you gentlemen are at, that still find the time to reach back and pull somebody forward. Or at least say, look, man, I don't know what you're doing, but the fact that you is passionate about what you're doing, I'm going to check it out. I'm going to see what you got going on. I watch. Go ahead.
I think just looking at everybody else, like what you're talking about, like when I look at Jeezy, like he been doing it since day one. Like he been doing it since day one in terms of reaching back and giving multiple content creators, you know, helping hands. But I always told myself, regardless of the situation, whether I was big in this or not, like I'm always down to help somebody else elevate their craft, because I believe what I do for myself is always to change something in whatever it is that I'm doing. Right. But when I reach back for somebody else, it's to do something that nobody ever did for me. To be a part of somebody literally like Wavy Kid Kev is one of the people that I know will do really well in this barbering thing, like with him just staying consistent. But just to know you just a part of their journey is what's important, because even before Kev had 1,000 followers, like I'm pretty sure he was passionate. He always had the energy in the videos. But to have somebody like a me, like a Jeezy, like a Bossy, or anybody else that's the pillars of that community, to reach back and give him that lending hand is why he's so insane now. It's why he's so good now, why his content is so fire now, why him and Jeezy collaborate the way that they do. Because not only do he got the work ethic, he got the creative mind behind it, but he's willing to learn. And when people willing to learn, it's going to take you to a whole nother level. Like that same thing that happened to me. I watch Fonz and Jeezy. A lot of people don't give Fonz the credit. That's really the mastermind in terms of content creation and making stories in front of your camera. They came to Chicago. I literally watched them for 5-6 hours create skits, do all type of different things, and create storylines to how you give content to people. So definitely, like I said, I always reach back to somebody who I know that's grinding, somebody who feels super original, somebody who, you know, who focus. I'm always going to get that lend a hand to.
So as you continue to evolve, you made that transition from Illinois to the Tampa area. What was your decision in relocating, and what made you take that year off?
My decision in relocating was that I touched my ceiling in Chicago. I couldn't go no further. Like, I touched the ceiling. And the guys that I was in the shop with, like, shout out to all of those guys. But me personally, I believe I need to be around what I'm trying to be. Like, and those guys didn't do content. You know, their biggest objective was to just spin a chair and cut as much hair as they wanted. And, you know, for anybody that want to do that, then do that. But I wanted to get in other sections of the game. I wanted to, like, I knew with dealing with Tune 45 that being a part of something that was so special, you want to be close to it. Like, I seen it as a baby. I watched it, the first CT, the first shave gel launch, and I wanted to be a part of watching it go from crawling to walking to running to playing in the big dog league. And I came to Florida to get closer to the guys that I essentially do business with, because these guys are like, Bossy on them don't get enough credit. They sharks. They sharks. Like, a lot of people look at me and be like, he killing it. No, Bossio and another owner of Tune 45, Danny, sharks. I'm talking about dangerous. The smartest people I know in the world. Like, I don't know. I wanted to be that. You get what I mean? And I just believe whatever you surround yourself with, you slowly become that. In terms of me taking that year off, I told myself, like, I did enough in barbering to a point to where it's like, I used to work for 4 years straight. I work all 7 days out the week, almost 8 to 8 every day, 12 hours. I wanted to give myself a year of relaxation. I wanted to enjoy some of my savings. I wanted to basically, you know, enjoy the fruits of my labor. But with that being said, I wanted to take music serious as well. And I really wanted to hone into the craft and figure out if I really wanted to do it or not. And with that being said, I just needed the time frame to work on myself, because I know when music come out, it won't be the beam that you see on camera now. You get what I mean? There's two different individuals. As a music artist, you're somebody different. Not saying like you playing a facade, but you have to tap into a different persona. People get to know who I am, the traumatic experiences that I've been through, my form of perseverance. Like, I got that tattooed on me. Perseverance is tattooed on me. Like, I believe with barbering, I did so well that I always neglected my story. People don't know my story. Like what Shy was saying earlier, like he never even heard a certain part of my story that I told him. It's because I never gave the world my story. I gave them professionalism. I gave them education. I gave them execution and haircuts. I gave them what I knew. You get what I mean? And my music is something that I can get a world that I never gave them before. And that's
you need to, whenever you do put out that, take this video, clip that part right there. Yeah. Hey, that hit different, my boy. Because I listened to the music. Look, the first thing I did, I'm like, let me see, because I want to make sure that we include music. So I'm from the south side of Chicago, bro. Born and raised south side of Chicago. I graduated from Finger High School. So I don't know nothing but keep it a buck, right? I'm like, I gotta listen to the music. I gotta hear it to see what it's talking about. I'm not gonna tell somebody I'm gonna push their music and I don't know what it sounds like. And I turned around, I said, okay. Then I made it to that damn Gremlin freestyle. Bruh. People wouldn't know that exists in you. I didn't know that exists in you. That's that. Yeah. The music is allowing you to shed them layers. Right. And open up. And like you said, show that part of you that you kept away, that little piece of you tucked off into the back. Right. Let me get in this booth, turn these lights off, throw up my cigar, and let me let that person out. like Reggie said, it goes crazy, and I can see it from the visuals in the video. I say, hey, yeah. He ain't flogging. That's him, bro. That's really how he feel on the inside. I can imagine that part of him is talking in his mind every time he talking to somebody about barbering. It's that part of him that he gotta quiet down. You have to make sure that you present your best representative, because that representative is in the room somewhere. Right. Yeah, I think it's dope, man. I can't wait to see what your finalized project is. Man, bro, I'm not gonna lie to you. I can't wait. Like Reggie in the comment section, I talked to Reggie about it a lot. I was talking to Tank about it. Some of his music, like, and it pissed me off. Reggie did music before, so I respect it. Yeah. So like Reggie, like watching Reggie and them, I respect people who do music so much, because like it's a reason why it's so hard to get in it. Like, it's not even about talents. It's about relationships. It's about relationships and having the money to pay for your records to get spent. But talking to somebody like Reggie, who taps into more of like a lyrical bag than anything, is more of like the way I want to be perceived as an artist is like just a versatile artist. I do everything. Don't skip over rap. I can sing. I can do it all. So with that being said, don't skip that. We're gonna keep that in there. Huh? It's like I do it, but like, you get what I mean? Like I'll sit down with one of my producers and tell him, okay, I don't like this. I want you to change the hi-hat, switch the drums here. So yeah, I do some part of producing, but I believe with me, I wanna focus on artistry, because I told myself for so long, man, I want people to take me serious. I want them, when they hear this music, to take me serious. But now I'm not even in that. I'm not in that realm no more. It's not even about people taking me serious. I'm gonna literally give them the raw and like authentic me, because it's like either you gonna rock with it or you won't. And like my mind frame about it, like just I think about it every day, and I talk to
the closest people around me, they're like, bro, you talented enough. And, you know, just anytime you're doing anything and putting yourself in front of the world, it's so easy to downplay yourself. It's so easy to, like, forget that you really that guy when you put your mind to certain stuff. So for me, in terms of the music, I just want to be different. Like, I want to be different to the world. I want to be electrifying, a breath of fresh air when people hear it. Like, who is this? I need to go download this tape. So it's definitely on the way. I'm in the middle of cooking up a lot of records. So it's in the mix.
Crazy work on that, for
real. And this is
I believe y'all gonna love it. I believe y'all
as
gonna
an
love it. I can't wait.
when you can be authentic, because you have a fallback that you've leveraged, you've leveled up. You can jump into this game with your heart. You ain't got to everybody else. You ain't got to do what everybody else doing. You could just be Beam and do what Beam does. You know what I mean? And that's the best part about music. You know what I mean? Just being an authentic. You got so, and I ain't trying to knock any musicians, but you have so many now that sound so similar. You know what I mean? Everybody sounds, like you said, you just want, you want to be a unicorn. You want to be unique and do your own thing. Yeah. That's what's up.
Yeah, because that's what organic growing comes from. Same way as YouTube. Like, I could have tried to copy and do everything I seen Jeezy do, but no, because at that point, a bunch of my success would have been based on something that another man did or another man created. And I never want my name attached to somebody's in terms of my work. I don't mind my name being attached to Jeezy's and Bossios when they talk about pillars of the community. But if you have no organicness about you, then you can't organically grow. And I just believe organic growth is the best type of growth, because that's what diehard fans come from. That's what real supporters come from.
So we would be absolutely
that's how it should be
dropping the ball, fumbling the bag, if you will, if we didn't ask you this question, bro. So when I first got introduced to the I Cut My Way Out podcast, Ash hit me up, say, hey man, been checking your workout. We would love to have you on an interview. We trying to bring new barbers into this to get a perspective on what new barbers are doing, And a question he asked me was, a lot of people are doing enhancements. The enhancements thing enhancements have become so much a part of the barbering industry that enhancements and linings go hand in hand, right? And he was like, man, how do you feel about enhancements? And your name came up. He was like, man, because Beam is going crazy with the enhancements, and he catching a lot of flack for it. Then I just recently watched a video where you put out a statement saying, like, man, people don't know that I was the beating post for the enhancements. I took all the hits on the enhancements, but wasn't nobody really bringing it to the forefront like that. So I do the color because it's my artistic expression. It's what I like. So I take the hits, but I'm gonna keep on pressing forward. And now here we go, fast forward all these years later, everybody enhancements. Enhancements is the norm. Right. So I would be dropping the ball if I don't ask you, what is your absolute, true, most transparent feelings about the barbering industry and how enhancements are going now?
My opinion, I don't know. I don't know. When I see pictures, whether they're good or bad, I smile like a proud father. And the reason that I do is because the reason that I do is because, like, I know what it's like to start off a bunch of my content with strictly color. Like, when I first did it, it was so much hate, and it wasn't the fact of, like, I never let somebody comments dictate what type of person that I'm gonna be, because, like, with all due respect to my parents, like, my dad was my first hater. I'm talking about I'm 12, 13 years old playing with high beam spray. I'm playing with masters and maestros, like black mustache wax or clubsman mustache wax. I'm talking about I'm playing with everything. But at that point, if I felt like I'm grown now, so we don't have those problems. But when I was younger, I felt like my own dad hated on me. If I could take that, it wasn't nothing nobody else could say to me about enhancements. And I believe it was the only pocket on YouTube at the time that wasn't being hit. So when I say you got to be organic, you got to do stuff that people ain't doing, whether people like it or not. And also, like, just looking at the bad side of it, the only bad side about enhancements is if people are using it with no solidified foundation. But if you actually have a decent barber who has good foundation and a haircut, then they assist it with enhancement. They only enhance the haircut. But for me personally, like, my only thought about enhancements is, I mean, it's an added service. It's like telling somebody, because you hot towel shaving somebody, it's almost stupid or it's dumb because it take longer, and it's an added service. Like, you make more revenue, your clients leave out with an enhanced look. Also, it's like when I just think about enhancements themselves, like, they could be used for multiple predicaments. I got a lot of clients, I had a lot of clients in Chicago who had thinning spots, who didn't want to let their hair go. So, like, as a barber, am I just supposed to tell my client, let your hair go? You get what I mean? So the thing behind it for me is, it's situational. But my overall thought process of enhancements, I love it. I see so many other people out here creating color enhancements. There's so many forms of the airbrush. Like, as y'all seen when we came and brought the first wireless airbrush compressor to the game. Like, I love seeing the movement because I played a big part of that. I played a big part of that. And I never want nobody to give me my flowers, because I just genuinely feel like if you watching me from the beginning to now, you kind of know that, you know, I got my feet in this. Like, I played a big part.
Just from the outside,
so I love it.
Attest to that. I love that clip where y'all had the two enhancements, the bang, and it's like respect the shooter, bro. Hey, that video so hard. I like respect. Go ahead, my bad.
So,
yeah.
With you jumping back in after a year transitioning, you had this crazy following, and now you're in a new place. So you're cutting, and I know, you know, you have that leverage. People know who you are. So how do you balance cutting hair, if you do it every day, or what does your schedule look like? The Tune 45 activities that you're part of, and that you're doing, and your music. How do you balance all of this?
And education.
Okay, so education is done in the form of fashion where, you know, anytime, let's say I book a class now, I always take like 2 months at most to give myself time for proper promotion for whatever class it is. So with that being said, if it's a class, that's always 2 months in advance. In terms of me working in the shop, I work at least about 2 days in the shop now, but I do a lot of free haircuts now. So, like, I don't go in the shop and just really get paid. I do a bunch of free haircuts just for content. So I trade haircuts for content or whatever, just to basically keep the content coming. In terms of music, I work on something every day because it's my weakest point. Like, I don't want to say I touched my pinnacle, but I got comfortable in a space that I am in barbering. So, like, I know what I can do in barbering. And my music is just something that I'm super worried on because it got to be good. So I do all three. But like I said, 2 days in the shop, a week, once a week. Yeah, 2 days. Classes is like every 2-3 months.
The barbershop you're in,
and music is every day.
Bassio's barbershops, or
it's the Sun Lake. It's the Sun Lake.
That's a hairline
location in Lando Lakes.
The name of it is Hairliner.
So I work in. Huh? Yeah. It's not. It's Hairlines.
Really?
Ironically, me and Bassio share the same station too. Like, we literally share the same station. We both there once or twice a week. So he go in on a Friday, I go in on a Saturday, and that's just how we work. So we literally have the same station.
Because I know a lot of people in that area, they probably are accustomed, but it's a lot of people in that area that's crazy, bro. You go into a barbershop and you see Bassio one day, and then you see Beam another day. And I think is Fonz in that shop as well?
Okay. No, Fonz is in the headlines, but he's
okay. So now I want to know. Now I'm interested. What other barbers are in the shop that you're in?
Okay, so I got Nate Motivates. He in my shop. He a real good barber. My boy Carlos.
Really?
The only big one that you may know, S Craft Blends. He in our shop too.
That dude
So
crazy.
Shannon is in our shop. Yep, he's the first chair in our shop.
Look, in years, contacting
S
him
Craft
too,
is
trying to get him
insane.
on.
He insane. Oh yeah, no. I mean, with that being said, I could easily alley-oop that for you. So I go into the shop this Friday.
I just seen this dude work shared, stolen, promoted. Everything that you could do to your work being put on social media, I've seen it happen to his work, man. Because that dude work is crazy. He a monster, bro.
Yeah.
Oh no, Shannon is
so let me ask you this.
Shannon's special.
With that being the case, okay, so there's that alley-oop, and we appreciate that. If that happens, that's awesome. Cool. Be it that I also saw that you was on another podcast. Are you kind of accepting more of putting yourself out there and opening up and kind of being more transparent in regards to the people who've been looking at you for so long and just knowing you through this one lens and trying to open that up a little bit?
Yeah, so that's my biggest thing. That's my biggest thing. Podcasts, like I said, podcasts now, interviews. I'm big on those because I feel like I articulate myself really well. And I believe that it's the only piece of my content creation I did not do enough of, which is be in front of the camera. People see my hands behind the camera a lot. But actually in front of the camera, I believe you build a different connection with the people that support you. Because if you could physically see somebody, see them do these things, then it's just that much more believable. But in terms of what I want to do with music, I'm prepping myself for that. I'm prepping because I have to do interviews. I have to do sit downs. You get what I mean? Meet and greets, things of that nature for the people who support you or are fans of your work to get a better chance to know who you are opposed to what you speak through the music. So
right.
That's going bad. But we at now.
Yeah.
Hey, nothing is bad forever, man. And
let me just send a shout out to Shy, because as we were trying to get you on, man, we jumping back and forth like God. They playing games with us. So he calls me. Our last ditch effort, he said, "Man, hit Bean and see if maybe he could bring us on to see if it's working on his end." So Shy, I gotta give you your blessings.
Hey, listen, Chicago raised us, bro.
Yeah, big shout out to Shy.
No, it's just a whole up. That's all no is, bro. We gonna figure it out some way. And like I said, man, I've been listening to Bean for a while, and one of the biggest messages that I think is the most influential, positive thing that he always says in his videos that I think is going to keep that following base as organic as it is the underlying message is don't allow situations to determine what you gonna do in them. Be you, be authentically you, unapologetically you. And if stuff starts to go left, you can always just take a breath, recapture your mind, and pivot. If that's not working, all right, cool. Let me figure out what I need to do to make it work. And then if it don't work, I have to be okay with accepting that it didn't work this time. But mean it won't work next time or the time after that. So shout out to Chicago. Shout out to the Midwest boys. That's what we're going to call the podcast. Midwest Connection. You feel me? So I think it's dope, man. How often do you make it back home?
Yeah, definitely. I've been back to Chicago maybe one time since I've been in Florida, or whatever. Cause I guess just my biggest thing with Chicago is it's nothing there for me no more. Like majority of my family moved from Chicago, so it's nothing really there for me in Chicago. But I think I'm gonna go soon. But I really don't go that much. But I do miss it. I miss the landscape. Like I miss the food spots. Who don't know Chicago debatably got the best food in the world. Like debatably,
you know where Champagne
debatably the best.
Right? Yeah, so I'm in Champagne. Yeah. I would have to agree that Chicago has the best food. at least in the United States. I can't speak for other countries because I ain't been there. Yeah,
definitely. So let me. I got another question for you, bro. This is a good one, right?
Definitely.
And I lost it that fast, bro. It pivoted that fast. Wow. You know, it is what it is. We got you on here. It's always gonna be a million things gonna come to mind to ask you. What do you think is the best way? What do you think is the best message that you could convey to somebody going through that transition that you went through when you made that discovery, that coming to, I've hit the ceiling here. There's nothing left for me here, right? Because a lot of barbers, we hear that a lot on the podcast. A lot of guys talk about they don't know what to do in that situation when they feel like they've capped out in the city or the state or the town that they're in or the shops that they're in, and they hit a crossroad where it's like, okay, what do I need to do to pivot from this? And a lot of them think, and a lot of them come across to the idea, well, I'm gonna move to another state because I've capped out what I can reach potentially in this state. I'm gonna go to another state. But that's a scary ass move it's scary enough for barbers to raise their price, let alone change their location totally, right? So what would be your advice to barbers out here that may be facing that situation, that decision making, and how you kind of handle that, man? I would love to hear, you know, what you have for them.
I believe every person that touches or hit their ceiling know when they hit their ceiling. But I would ask that same person when they hit their ceiling, what is it that they truly want from this? And it'd be a lot of barbers who don't want nothing. It start off about money. And once you get money and once everything consistent and like you just, you know, you booked out, you get to a point to where you become comfortable. And I just believe in this comfortable mind state, the people who are able to achieve that ceiling, they got to ask themselves, what do they want? Me, what did I want besides being a maxed out barber, making the top dollar, being, you know, a YouTube star, all of that? What else did I want? I wanted real estate. I wanted property. I wanted to invest in stocks. And all of my boys down here do it at the highest level. I wanted, you know, financial freedom. I want to have it to where all of my assets pay for my daily life. That's financial freedom to me right there. It's not having just astronomically amount of millions of dollars. Is it a timer on here or something?
They playing games.
Is it a timer on here or something?
We did 3-hour videos, bro. Instagram. Listen, that's just how you know.
Hey, Instagram going crazy right now. But no, like just to sum up exactly what I said, man. I reached my ceiling and I wanted more. I wanted, like I said, financial freedom. I wanted real estate. I wanted to be able to play with stocks. I wanted, like, I know people who are successful. I'm talking about millionaires with just Turo, people who have just multiple vehicles and those are being rented. I wanted financial freedom. And to get that, I needed to be around the people who were literally doing it. And for me, that was my plan. Like, I know wherever I go, because I have some form of a cult following, that if I really wanted to just strictly do barbering, I could do it. I opened up my booking and I told people I'm doing free haircuts for content. I got over 100+ emails right now. I'm pretty sure out of that 100, I could guarantee make 50 of them clients. You get what I mean? So with that being said, I knew when I made the move that, like what Sha was saying, it's difficult as ever, because if you're a person without a fan base or a support system, when you move, you basically signing up for ground zero and you gotta rebuild it. But I do believe to people who max out at that level, if you have the cushion in terms of the savings and things of that nature, that you always need something to reset you. Like, you get what I mean? Like when you reach top dollar, it's cool, but it's like at that point, it's like I don't get new clients. It's hard for me to take new clients. All people know. So with that being said,
you start saying no more than anything.
I just want those barbers to, like, I wish I could talk to those barbers, those ones that are maxed out at the highest level. What else do you want? And if you ask somebody that and they don't know, it ain't time for them to just drop everything and move. I wouldn't suggest that, because if you don't know what you want, then how long do you survive if you make a devastating move or if you pivot? I pivoted knowingly that I saved enough just in case. Like I said, I took a year off, and it wasn't about money, but it was about mental clarity. It was about physically getting to where I wanted to get. Like, you know, it's tiresome working 4 years, 7 days a week, almost 8 to 8. Like, it's tiring. You tend to fall out of love with the game because you're not doing it for the reasons you want to do it. And I was losing that element about myself, and that's something I put in my YouTube videos, even with my mentor. Is at times where I made this thing about a dollar sign, and it wasn't fun.
No doubt. So for me, man, I think probably the most amazing part about this interview for me is that you're under 30, you relocated, you pivoted, you realized you reached your ceiling, you went somewhere, and based on the fact that you built that following, you saved money, and you were able to take off your craft for a year. We have so many. We were at the CT, bro, and we were sitting in a class with Andy Authentic and the original Barber Dog, right? Shout out to. And one of the questions that Andy Authentic asked was, how many people in here have life insurance? And it was a room full of people. And so I just looked from right to left. I didn't look behind me. But his reaction was, based on the raise of hands, we have less than 20% in here. It had to be at least 300 to 500 people in place. And to hear that somebody of your age, it speaks volumes of where you're at. But I think it also speaks volumes of you saying that you have to put yourself around like-minded people. And if you're the smartest person in the room, then you need to leave that room and go reposition yourself in another damn room. Immediately. You know what I'm saying? So for you to be able to make that transition at your age, man, kudos and props to you, man, because I'm 46 years old and I found stability. It took quite a long time because I didn't have that in front of me. I didn't have anybody to teach me. Now my son is barbering with me, and I'm trying to get him to understand the importance of financial literacy and setting that stability, because the average person, I don't care if you were 60, 65, can't jump up, move across country, and take off for a damn year to regather their thoughts and figure out what direction they want to go in. So I just got to salute you on that one, my brother.
Definitely.
No,
I want to highlight something that you said, though, that I don't want people to miss this, because it was big. You put out so much knowledge and so many jewels, I don't even think you realized what you said, but you said something that was huge. Something that you said that stuck out to me was, when barbers get to that point where they hit a ceiling, right? Your word choice, because I'm a big advocate of people choose words for a reason. Your word choice was, once you achieve your peak, not once you tap out, not once you done filled your books, once you achieve your peak. That means that even in the decision that comes at that point, you've accomplished the goal that was set long ago, and achieving the ability to say that I have no room to go up again. I have no room to do what I need to do in this space. I've achieved the peak of my goal. If you arm yourself, anybody, and I think this is probably one of the most beneficial things for you, if you arm yourself with the knowledge of self, and you arm yourself with the understanding of what you are capable of, when you relocate, you can achieve it again because you achieved it before. You've done it already. So I just want to make sure we highlight that, because people choose words for a reason. Nobody is randomly saying stuff, and if they are, there's no meaning behind it. People choose words for a reason. And I love that. That's going to be on one of these clips tomorrow. Once you achieve the peak of your goals, you've created an opportunity to reset and start over and do it again, bro. That's huge if you didn't catch that dude.
And it's gonna be easier the second time because you already know every obstacle that you ran into and how you bumped your head multiple times the first time. Like it's gonna be that much more easy. It's the thought process of, oh, I'll go to ground zero. Like when I came out here, I'm like, man, you lose. I'm essentially I'm walking away from $5,000-$6,000 weekly from the shop. Like I'm walking away from that. But also I do believe that it's you know, it's a part of my journey. I believe it lit a fire under me because sitting out for a year, like you kind of tend to miss the things that make you feel close to home. And barbering was one of those things for me. So taking a long year off to me wasn't like I said, it was for mental clarity. It was for to see what I really wanted to do, what I wanted to achieve. Because I knew that I had the vehicle then. I just didn't know where I wanted to go with it. I didn't know where I wanted to drive to or whatever. And that's just how it was. But ironically, using the music that I use in these in these YouTube tutorials, 90 samples and things of that nature, and my next place to go was in front of my face the whole time. Everybody saying do music. I used to laugh like, I'm not gonna try to do no music. It's set in front of my face for years before I even made the move. And then I come out here, make the move and really tap in and start to develop who I want to be in that lane as well. It allowed me to learn so much more about myself because barbering I believe barbering show people kind of who I am, but they only know Beam. Like they don't know Amorial. Like that's my first name, Amorial. They don't know who I am. They just know what I can do with this skill set or whatever. And I just believe I got so much more I want to show and tell the world, but I can't do it through barbering. I gotta do it through something else.
I think that's because
let me say something just right quick, Shaq. I'm sorry. So for anybody watching, just want to tell y'all, this is the I Cut My Way Out podcast via Beam's page. We had technical difficulties, but for y'all watching, follow Beam, of course. If y'all already don't, follow the I Cut My Way Out podcast, Shout Out Barber, Asha Barber. We are dropping some gems on here. This is the platform that you want to be in. I'm going to let you continue, Shaq, but I got a question that we talked about last week, in terms of education, and you really dropping some gems, Beam. And we don't want to keep you all night, but I definitely, because we kind of went back and forth last week. So go ahead and say what you were saying, Shaq, and I'll come behind. I just want to let them know we appreciate you, man, because we had some things going on. We couldn't figure that one out.
Most definitely.
I appreciate y'all.
These kind of conversations, man, it's crazy because when you get an opportunity to have a conversation with somebody that's not only invested in the culture and the industry that we all embody, that transparency, man. These opportunities to listen to somebody's story and listen to what they have to say and why they have to say it, the reasons behind the motion, is, to me, that's the most locked in you could be with somebody. Is when you know what their motivations are behind what they're doing. Personally, bro, listening to you and then accompanying that with what I've observed from you, from what you put out, there's no way in hell you could have ever thought you was gonna be able to just use barbering to embody all that you are, bro. There's no, you out of your damn mind if you thought.
Yeah. Look, I thought it was because it was the only thing that showed me promise and success. Like, you get what I mean? Like, it's at times I forget that I sat through damn college calculus 1, 2, and 3. Like, I forget that I sat through physics 1, 2, and I would never in my life want to sign up to do those classes again.
Right.
But you get what I mean? Those are stepping stones to who I am today. I just believe, like, with every chapter in your life, whether it's good or bad, you got to maximize the opportunity. And like I said, at times you don't know how powerful you are. You don't know how powerful your words are. But I can tell you, like, at 28 years old, I'm growing into it. Like, I'm growing into my power. I kind of get a gist and know exactly who I am and what I want to do with my talents and what I want to do with my knowledge. And let's give back to every generation that's coming after me so we can keep going at that level.
You didn't know, but God did. You feel?
Yeah.
Hey, I'm so happy for this interview, bro. Things happen for a reason. I firmly believe that. My wife, when I call my wife, like, do you see this shit? What's going on? She like, just chill out. You got it. It'll happen. Just don't worry about it. But I'm so happy for this because now I'm going to go back and I'm going to look at every single one of them videos that I watched. I'm going to go back and look at every single one of them videos that I liked, that I commented on, and I'm going to listen. Because now the word's going to hit way different. Anybody that's on here listening right now, that's on the live, you tuned in. When you get off this live, the first thing you need to do is go straight to YouTube and pull up the latest Being video. I guarantee you. And if I'm wrong, cuss me out of my inbox. I ain't ducking no smoke. But I guarantee you them words hit different when you listen to him now that you know another layer of who he is as a person. I guarantee you.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
That's a fact. Hey, I never thought of it like that, but I'm going to take that advice and go watch my last video as well, because I believe now that you say it like that, yeah, I can see why it's gonna hit a little bit different, because they get an insight of who I am. Like, this not the person behind the camera. Y'all get a chance to actually get a version of me that I don't get a chance to display. And I wish I did. Like, that's why I try to show up to expos. Even when I met both y'all, it was love right off the rip. Like, I watched y'all stream with Reggie, Tank, and I just knew, like, if Reggie and them mess with them, they solid. Because, you know, I just met Reggie really this year, even though Reggie used to be under my comment section and things, but I just really met him or whatever. But you know, good people. In the city that we come from, ain't too many people like us. And with that being said, like, we got good eye for people. We got good eyes for energy. I just knew it off the rip, like, they solid. So, you know, no matter the technical difficulties, the objective was to give this version of myself to the world through y'all platform, because y'all got something special. And, you know, if I could help in any form of fashion, same way, like I said, I can alley-oop S-Craft, I can alley-oop a lot of guys that I work with. Just off the strength of, like, that's our objective, to educate this industry and to pour back into it. That's what we do. That's our motto. That's dying a legend. That's legacy. That is our motto.
Hey, man, you
heartfelt, bro.
Hey, this dude different, bro.
Yeah.
Y'all better. Hey.
Yeah.
We've met a lot of people in this industry, and Reggie, Tank, we, you know, authentic people. And like you said, real recognized, real, man. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you here with us tonight, man, and it's greatly appreciated, man. I was sitting there, and as we were in CT, man, I was watching, you know, you and Jeezy and Basio, and it's just so amazing to me what the barbering industry has become, and knowing what it's become and what we can take and use as a trampoline to get to the next phase of where we want to be. People were waiting. We're having conversations, and you got fans waiting to take pictures, you know, like you know, barbers have NBA superstars, man, and it's amazing to see, man, and we just want to give you your flowers and thank you, man, for taking the time out. I have two questions before we end, and I'm in a rush, but I have two. One, I would like to know, we know you're doing your music thing, but overall, what's in the future for Beat?
So
okay,
I can't spoil nothing. But what I can say though, the educational tours is about to be crazy with the new software that my boy Sean, one of our lead educators, then help me with. So I know our education level is finna go through the roof. And in terms of innovation of products, it's gonna be insane. So I just hope everybody brace themselves. I hope everybody who's been following Tomb 45 see exactly what we doing. Like when you look at every product of Tomb 45, it gets better, it gets better, it gets better, it gets more innovative. And as long as y'all pay attention to that story, when y'all see everything that's coming, it's gonna be amazing. So we got a big year
we will definitely be following. My second question.
Before you shoot that out, I gotta say that.
Go for it.
What Reggie just said. Let's talk and get y'all back in Knoxville.
What Reggie say?
Oh my God, bro.
Man, Reggie got my personal number, so if he want us back in Knoxville, I'm just one call away. That's not hard for me to do.
Don't drop the ball,
I'm
Reggie.
one call away.
Don't drop the ball, Reggie.
Don't, please don't. I'm one call away, Reggie. I'm one call away.
One last question for me.
Yeah.
Me and Shy kind of talked and talking about having, barbers on the platform. After you've been on here, you've chopped it up with us. Mm-hmm. Who are 3 barbers that you would like to see on this platform?
3 barbers that I would like to see on this platform. 3 barbers that I would like. Okay, I got one that I really fool with. Bones the Goat. I don't know if y'all know who that is.
Bones the Goat.
Yeah, Bones the Goat. Really, really, really good educator. Very, very motivational. Like very motivational. Bones the Goat. I'm trying to see, because I'm trying to make sure that I choose educators who I know that move me. I would definitely love to see. I would love to see Bossio on here. Because that's just like that's a shark in the industry right now. Like you can't get that knowledge nowhere else but somebody who's been through every aspect of this barbering world in terms of products, in terms of building businesses from zero to nothing. Like that's one of the most knowledgeable men in the game of barbering right now. So I would go Bones the Goat. I'll go Bossio. And my last barber, because y'all did OG already, that was somebody who was very, 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 very big in my coming up of barbering. I'm trying to think who really who took it to another level from me. Josh O.P. Insane barber. UK dude, insane. Like I'm telling y'all, like
I've heard that.
I know who Josh O.P. is. So yeah, like he rocks. He rock with us a lot. He shared a booth. Okay. Our booth, Tomb 45, and the OP booth was together this year at CT.
Over there.
But when I tell you, like 300 plus people was in his single hand. I think he may have had 500 people in his class alone. Like the dude, knowledgeable. He young and just insane with this thing that we call barbering. I would love to get a message and insight from all 3 of them on y'all platform, because I believe the questions that y'all possess and give to people are more realistic questions of who they are and not opposed to just the job of barbering. All 3 of those people are family-oriented men that put God first, that also are very knowledgeable in every aspect of this game.
Our thank you to you, in addition to us. You're going to hear for the next week. Thank you. But our repayance to you is we're going to work our behinds off, because somebody said, Beam used to cussing his videos. He don't be cussing no more. So we're going to work our behinds off to make that happen. Definitely. We've been talking to Bossio every time we get a chance. It's kind of, the schedules are so, he busy, and we got, stuff we trying to make happen, but I have to get his email again. You found his email?
I shot him because he responded to me. I shot him an email. So, Beam, if you do get a chance, just put it in.
That work. I feel like it's coming real soon.
Yeah, but I say I could help y'all out with that, and I'm still gonna alley-oop y'all with S-Craft, because I believe that's gonna be one crazy too. That's my honorable mention, even though y'all didn't let me get one of those. But honorable mention, S-Craft Blends. I can make that happen.
That's dope, man. Again, we can't thank you enough, man. Hey man, you was our hero today, man. Let me take my hat off to you, man, because you made it happen.
I superly appreciate it. Because what I'm gonna say is nobody told me anything about the platform. I just see how y'all handled the platform. When I was watching Reggie, like I said, when I was watching Tank, I watched them two specifically because them two are my favorite upcoming content creators through YouTube. So just watching, I knew it. I'm like, this is my playground. I could have fun here. So with that being said, no, y'all got a dope platform. I do believe with the more influencers, it's gonna help grow the platform. But just keep doing what y'all doing, because all y'all have to do is continuously build the relations. Now y'all have a solid connection through me just because I know who y'all are. Like, y'all are solid people. But just continuously build the relations, and next thing you know, the biggest of the biggest names will be on this platform.
That's what's up.
We great.
Definitely.
You, man. This has been the Poppy Bean I Cut My Way Out podcast episode some 4,000 playoff edition, and we appreciate you, man. If you are not locked in with Get Bean, all you got to do is hit that little arrow up there. It ain't on my screen, but you know where it said. You know my finger. Hit that little arrow. Lock in with Bean. Make sure you turn on your post notifications. And like we said earlier, if you were locked into this podcast, locked into this episode, when you end this, go to YouTube, go look at that video. And what you do is you look at that video, enjoy the essence of what he's showing you, but listen to what he's saying to you.
No doubt.
Don't change your life. It's gonna hit different. It might speak to something in you that you've been waiting to get unlocked within yourself. You may have been struggling with something. You may have been up against a wall. You may be facing some of these obstacles that we discussed in this episode. And if you go and listen to that video, you may get the key to unlock that within yourself. I'm just saying, you do what you want to do with the information. I'm just going to put it out there to you. It is what it is. Now, if you want to find out more content like this, all you got to do is go back up to that arrow, hit the I Cut My Way Out podcast, hit follow, and turn on them post notifications. We are live every Wednesday on social media, Instagram specifically at 7:30 Central Standard Time. We're working on the internet. We're going to put that call in to Instagram and figure out who did the shadow ban.
Right.
Who did it, Instagram? Just let us know what it is, and we'll figure it out.
Definitely.
Aside from that, man, this has been an amazing episode, man. We appreciate you so much, bro.
Definitely. Hey, everybody that's on here, I appreciate y'all for stopping by with this collaboration on I Cut My Way Out. Again, I am Beam. I got a banger dropping tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern. So y'all stick around. There's going to be some dope, encouraging words. But again, everybody that's out there, I just want to say I appreciate y'all for just kicking it with us for this hour or two that we had. And hopefully y'all learned something from me. If not, go to my YouTube. You will definitely learn something. And to these two gentlemen down here, man, hit the follow button, lock in with them, and see exactly what they got going on, because they're trying to do something special for this industry. They're bringing a bunch of influencers in front of y'all so you guys can get more of an insight of who these people are that y'all follow. It's bigger than pictures. It's bigger than videos, and it's bigger than the haircut.
Hey,
I cut my way out.
Greatly appreciate it, my brother.
All right.